Yo, 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 yo! I don't know. I don't know why I'm talking like that, but I just did, so... Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Paper Cranes, for those of you who don't know, and I like to do mental health and music content. So if that is something you are interested in, make sure you subscribe down below, because that would be amazing and you would be considered a legend in my mind. So yeah. Today I am going to be talking about mental health in the veterinary industry. I am a vet nurse and I have been working as a vet nurse qualified for the last 4 years, and I've been working in the animal industry since I was 14 and 9 months, and I am now 22, so it's been a long time and I've got a lot of things I want to say. Buckle up, sit down, you know, get ready. Also, trigger warning, because I am going to be mentioning things about mental health, obviously, so that may include things like suicide and self-harm. So if that's something you're not interested in and something that's gonna hurt your brain, you just click off this video, please, because we don't want none of that. Okay, cool. All right, glad we've had that established. Anyway, so I'm really not vibing with my hair today, as you can tell, because I keep touching it. It might also be the shirt, the jumper thing that I'm wearing. I don't know if I'm vibing with this collar moment, okay, besides the point. Anyway, I am doing this video because I would like to raise awareness, not for the people in the animal industry and the veterinary industry, but for the people who use the animal industry services, or most importantly, the veterinary services. You're the people that need to know this stuff and need to watch this video, okay, because you guys are the ones that don't really know much about this topic. There are so many good things that come with working in the veterinary industry, so many positive things, and those things are the reward you get out of helping animals and the reward you get out of helping owners. They're so grateful most of the time. They give you chocolates and they're so happy that you can help their pets when they're sick, and the friends you make in the industry, the people you meet. Most people are just so lovely, and I am so privileged for all the experience I've had. What did I just say? I am so grateful for all the experiences I've had in the veterinary industry, and all the people that I've met, and all the friends that I've made, and all the connections and things that I've learned. Another positive to the veterinary industry is that you're never going to be bored. There is always something to do. The variety of work that is offered to you is amazing. Like, you are never bored. You always have a different task you can do every single day. I think that's great, because instead of having to fill out paperwork every single day like you would in maybe your typical office job or something like that, you are able to do a wide range of things, anywhere from cleaning to helping in consult to helping in surgery to blood work, or, you know, placing catheters, clipping hair, or like, there's just so many things that you can be doing in the veterinary industry. So there's a wide variety and you're never bored, and I think that's amazing. That is a positive, obviously. Last but not least, and there's definitely more than this, but I just want to keep it short, the amount of fun that we have in the industry with each other. I've never worked at a veterinary clinic where there hasn't been some people that just have fun, yeah? The time we end up throwing weird things at each other, like tape, or like putting tape on each other's back while they're walking around, or like making jokes. There's just so many fun things that come with working as a vet nurse and being in the veterinary industry. Like, I'm so grateful that I am a vet nurse and I get to experience this type of things every single day. Like, it's so good. Not only that, we also do have the benefit of getting cheaper healthcare for our animals, because we are providing that healthcare for our animals, so obviously we don't have to pay as much as the average human being. So that's another positive to working in the veterinary industry as well. But yes, alongside all the positives that come with working in the veterinary industry, there is also a lot of negatives, and sometimes, unfortunately, the negatives outweigh the positives. Most of the time, people who do not work in the veterinary industry / animal industry don't have any idea what goes on behind the scenes. Clients don't have any idea. They have zero idea on what we deal with on a day-to-day basis. And it's quite sad. I truly believe if clients knew what we went through, then we probably wouldn't have this many mental health issues in the industry, because people would be more accepting and more understanding, I guess. But unfortunately, not many people know, okay? So that's why you're watching this video. Smart one. Smart move. Good job. Good job for watching this video. Appreciate it. These are some of the types of things that us vets and nurses have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. We have a schedule every day that we have to complete, clients that we have to see. It is most typical in veterinarians to be overworked because of the amount of clients that they need to see, and the amount of patients they need to see, the amount of cases they need to write up, the amount of phone calls they need to make throughout the day. And vets often have to stay back and work longer hours than anticipated because they haven't finished calling Fluffy's owners for their bloods because Sally's dog came in and was hit by a car, so everything was pushed back, so appointments were running late. Like, it just all spirals into this whole thing, and it happens more often than it should. The clinic that I'm currently working at is definitely making a very good effort to help with the amount of work us vets and nurses have to do on a day-to-day basis, because they realize that our mental health is deteriorating because a lot of us aren't happy because of how much work we have to do and how stressed we are in the environment. I mean, that's one thing that happens at the vet clinic. We also have a staff shortage in the veterinary industry. A lot of people don't want to be vets and nurses these days. A reason for that is the pay is really crap. And a lot of you are probably thinking, oh wait, but everyone says that vets and nurses are just in it for the money. Bitch, you get a better salary from working in retail. Can you believe that? Like, we go to school and we like train and we do all this study, and people who work in retail get more than us. Something to think about there, okay? I don't think we're in it just for the money, okay? So you can go shove that idea somewhere it does belong. Wow, I am on fire. I'm on fire with my comebacks today. Amongst this massive workflow that we have, we also have a lot of emotional burnout and compassion fatigue. We are constantly having to offer clients and staff our emotional support because their pets are dying and their pets are sick and their pets need help. So we have to be empathetic towards these people, and we have to offer them emotional support because that's what humans do, right? We are constantly put in a position where we have to get into that mental headspace to help others. So it can be quite emotionally demanding to have to give that empathy to strangers every single hour of the day, you know? I feel sorry for some vets because they go into a consult where a pet is severely ill and they have to end up putting the pet down. The client might put the pet down because they can't afford to give the animal the treatment that they need, and they blame us vets and nurses for the price of the treatment when it's not our fault. And especially if we don't own the business, it's not our fault like how expensive the services are. It's not our fault that you can't pay for the treatment. Obviously we feel terrible that we can't do more because unfortunately we can't do everything for free. So a lot of our services are heavily discounted as it is, which is hard to believe for a lot of people, but it is. Because if you were to get the same treatment for a human, you'd be looking in the thousands, you know? But there's no Medicare for pets, unfortunately. That's just the reality. But yeah, I just wish clients were a bit more considerate of what we do and like the emergencies we face and the workload that we have to go through. Not only do pets die from medical diseases and problems, pets also die from human error, okay? Sometimes, it doesn't happen often, but sometimes pets die under anesthetic, and sometimes pets die and it'll be a situation where it could have been avoided. Obviously, in these situations, it really messes with your mind, because if you could have avoided a pet dying and it died on your hands, that can mess you up for a really long time. So even though it doesn't happen often, when it does happen, it will stay with you for a long time or even for life. And these are the type of things that can push a vet or a nurse over the edge. So say if I was monitoring an anesthetic for a patient and I wasn't concentrating on their heart rate and I didn't notice that their heart stopped and the vet's still doing surgery because they're concentrating on the surgery, that's on my hands, yeah? Like, I've just killed a patient, and you know, that's like something that will stick with me for the rest of my life. Thank God that I haven't actually had a case like that yet, touch wood, but I know people that have, and I know vets that have lost patients under anesthetic, and it could have been avoided. And that's like the type of stuff that pushes vets and nurses over the edge, you know, let alone really abusive clients that push vets and nurses over the edge. Yeah. A lot of clients don't appreciate the work that goes into caring for pets and the amount of time and effort we put into the treatment and the care for every animal. Where I work now, our motto is to treat every pet as if they were our own, and we truly do that. And it's hard when clients say that we're not trying hard enough or we're not doing our best, when we actually are, because we're caring for your pets as if they're our children. That's how emotionally involved we are with your pet, and this is how you are treating us. And like, it's very hard because that sort of stuff can quite literally push us over the edge, and lots of vets and nurses have committed suicide after clients have pushed them over the edge with what they've said. Lots of these points are put on a brochure before you come and start working in the animal industry, and I'm sure if it was, a lot of vets and nurses that are working in the animal industry probably wouldn't be, because if they knew what it was going to be like before they got into it, then they probably wouldn't have chose this profession. Unfortunately, a lot of vets have a lot of debt once they come out of uni, because the uni course to be a veterinarian is quite expensive. It's like there's no way out. Like, if you've put all that money into a profession or into that education, and to like want to quit your job, then how are you going to pay off your debt, you know? Like, so a lot of vets feel stuck in that area. Yeah, and it's sad. It's sad. Yeah, so the veterinary industry is not for everyone. You have to be very strong-minded, and you have to be very open. So you have to like talk to people, and you know, you have to check in with people. So there's a lot that goes into being able to handle the animal industry, because it is very difficult. Just want to make this video obviously because people need to know how much we care in the animal industry and how much more understanding clients need to be, because I sure as hell know if you had to wait 20 minutes at a local general practitioner service, you'd be ecstatic, because you'd usually have to wait about an hour at a local doctor. To wait 20 minutes at a vet clinic shouldn't really be a big deal, but unfortunately it is for a lot of clients, mainly because they just don't understand what goes on behind the scenes and what's going on through our minds. Obviously we are going through all this stuff at work, but not only that, we're human, so we've got a personal life as well. And a lot of vets and nurses might have trouble at home, trouble with partner, trouble with families, normal human things. But to put that on top of work, it's a lot. So someone saying something terrible to you at work can really push you over the edge. So yes, that's why it's important to always make sure you are talking to your colleagues and your boss and your employers and letting them know how you feel and asking for help when you need it, because anything can push you over the edge when you are working in the animal industry. Now, one really big thing that I want to mention in this video that affects me personally is the management. The management is the most important to me, in my opinion, because if your employer allows your employees to overbook and to not supply the right equipment and, you know, stress everyone out with the amount of workload, that ultimately will affect your mental health, because they hold the power to how much work is given to the employees. Yes, obviously abusive clients is out of their control, but the workload and the time we allow for diffusion and breaks and, you know, time to go toilet, time to call clients, like a lot of the time it's down to the management and the bosses and the employees running the clinic. If these rules aren't put down and these restrictions aren't put down properly, then things will get out of control. I have worked at one of the most terribly managed clinics in my state of Victoria in Australia. The worst. When I mention the name of this clinic to any vet or nurse, they instantly know what clinic I'm talking about because of how poorly managed it is. So I know what it's like to work at a very, very poorly managed clinic. And honestly, I've never been so upset in my life. Like, I've never wanted to take my life, thankfully, but working at this clinic, if I stayed there for longer than I did, I reckon I definitely would have considered it, because the way this clinic was managed is so terrible. And unfortunately, there are some really terrible people in the veterinary industry, and they can just be really, really mean, and they don't have any patience. And that could be because of their mental trauma or their upbringing or the way they've been taught, but the way it affects other vets and nurses, it baffles me. Like, I think management is one of the biggest things that affects the mental health of vets and nurses in this industry. If clinics were managed the way they should be managed, then we probably wouldn't have such a big mental health crisis in the veterinary industry, because the workload would be even, vets and nurses would have time to eat, time to go toilet, like time to breathe. A lot of the time we don't have time to scratch our own ass, you know? So demanding. Like, we go home crying because we don't even have time to breathe. Like, we don't have time to sit down. And it's so emotionally and physically draining. So imagine having, you know, days like that, and then all you need is just one client to come in and yell at you the wrong way, and it's over. That's it. Your life is gone, quite literally. So yeah, if you learned something new today about the veterinary industry or the animal industry, leave a like, leave a comment, let me know. If you work in the veterinary industry, I know you know, I know you know. Please comment down below, that would be amazing. Like, it's always nice to see people who can relate. If you are struggling as well, and you are working in the veterinary industry and you are struggling, or you're just struggling in general for any reason, I've put a whole heap of links below where you can get some help. So yeah, feel free to go check them out. But I want to mention that if you are in the veterinary industry and you are struggling, there is employee assistance programs that your boss should have set up for you, and you can get like 3 sessions for free with a psychologist. So always make sure you talk to your employer. If you want any advice or want to know more, or just want to talk or anything, like, just comment below and we can like figure something out. I'm also a qualified counselor as well, so if you want to have a session with me, comment down below. I can give you my email and we can figure something out. I do anywhere in the world, you know, Zoom exists. I can do something. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you're all having a lovely day wherever you are in the world. I hope you're all smiling until your cheeks hurt, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. Also, look at my cute animals. They're all just sleeping while I do this video. It's so cute. Alright, bye.